Hello, welcome back. Okay, so let's talk about this new monetary system that they have planned for us. Welcome to the Matrix.
I got a bad feeling about this.
All right, so if you don't mind, could you smash that like button for me? Now, we have talked an awful lot about these central bank digital currencies, also known as CBDCs, that are being rolled out by countries around the world. But there are a few aspects of this that I have not really covered yet that you really have to know about. For example, there is some terminology that we have not covered yet that's going to be central to all of our lives. For example, terms like the unified ledger and the unified register and tokenomics. You probably have no idea what these terms mean right now, but I promise you, everyone's going to be expert in these terms before too long. Now, this new monetary system that they have planned for us is a system that pretty much everyone is going to just want to adopt because it's going to be convenient. And for those who do not want to enter into the matrix, they will have ways to force you into it. There will be no escaping the matrix. Pretty much every central bank in the world has their own advanced plan for their own central bank digital currency. And the more that you look at the implications of this, the more evil it becomes. In this video, we're going to talk about the dystopian nature of this new monetary system that we are all going to be a part of. So as I sit here, 130 countries have announced their development of their own CBDCs. And that list of countries represents over 98% of the world's population. So this whole process is already well underway. And the existing CBDCs already cover over 200 different types of scenarios, everything from online purchases to government stimulus payments to tax receipts. And this is coming to all of us. There is no escaping it unless we do something fast. Now, the idea of these central bank digital currencies is pushed at every level: local, federal, national, and international. And from what I can see, there is almost nobody pushing back on this. There are a few politicians here and there who are making noise, but when was the last time that you saw an actual news report pushing back against this new evil monetary system? Please, in the comment section below, I'd be interested. Have you heard any reports of people pushing back in a serious way against these CBDCs? Now, in America, our nickname for our CBDC is going to be the Fed coin. In Britain, for example, it's going to be the Britcoin. They have cute little nicknames for these central bank digital currencies. But this whole movement toward CBDCs is more than just a movement toward a cashless society to force us away from cash. The more insidious part of this is the nature in which this is going to be implemented, where individuals, every one of us, is going to be completely dependent on the state for every aspect of our lives. So one new term you're going to hear is going to be the token economy, otherwise known as tokenomics. So remember that term, tokenomics, because it will become a central part of all of our lives. What that term means is all of your money is going to be represented in the form of a token. And all of these tokens are going to be housed inside of computers owned by the government. And it's going to be sit on what's referred to as a unified ledger. So there's the second term for you. First is tokenomics, now the unified ledger. So your tokens won't sit in your own bank account or in your wallet or in your desk drawer. They'll be sitting on this unified ledger. And every central bank will have their own unified ledger. But it doesn't end there. Every time that you use your tokens to purchase a car, a house, shares in the stock market, all of those assets are also going to be tokenized, and they will sit on what's called a unified register. That's the third term that I wanted to talk about in this video. So you have tokenomics, a unified ledger, and a unified register. So your assets would sit on a unified register with your name and personal information attached to that asset. And this is how they force you onto the system. So to make sure that you don't bypass the system, they will make sure that you will not own that asset unless your name and personal information is attached to that personal asset, because all assets will be tokenized. Every asset will have to be tokenized and rest somewhere in the register. Now, this process will be very easy for the government because their work is already mostly done, because basically all property is already registered with the government, and they can just dump that information inside the unified register. And that also includes all of your banking information, all of your car registration information, all of your health records. All that information can easily be dumped into the government's unified register. And what they could do is pass a law so that every time that you do happen to use cash for a transaction, that you have to identify yourself. And what they'll do is they will scan, every banknote has its own number on it, right? They'll scan it in and they'll identify that you used that cash for that transaction. Okay, and this is where it starts to become really insidious. So the Bank of International Settlements, the BIS, that's known as the central bank to central banks, right? And they've already developed their own Unicoin. And it's meant to sit at the top of the pyramid. So every country will have its own central bank digital currency, and the BIS coin will sit at the very top. And the BIS is going to allow all the central bank's information to be shared amongst each other. So not only do you have to worry about our own personal privacy in regards to our own government, we have to worry about our personal information being dispersed around the world. Now, of course, our government assures us that our information is safe. I mean, after all, it is the government. So what could possibly go wrong? Now, some of you are going to say, I'm going to resist. There's no way I'm going to allow myself to put inside this matrix. But if you ever want to own anything, if you ever want to own a car or real estate or stocks and bonds or any other kind of investment, if you want to buy groceries, you're going to have to be in the system. I mean, do you want to travel? Do you want to buy a plane ticket and make a hotel reservation? Guess what? You're going to need to be in this new system. Now, of course, most people are going to just acquiesce to this out of convenience, because if you want to travel, if you want to buy that plane ticket, you want to buy that car, that house, whatever, this system is going to make it really convenient, or so they tell us. And that is the way they're going to sell this to us. Our lives are going to be so much easier. All you have to do is forego any semblance of privacy. And again, remember, this is going to be completely secure. You're completely safe because, after all, the government is in control. What could possibly go wrong? Anyway, so let's leave it there. So those are three new terms that you have to start becoming familiar with: the unified ledger, the unified register, and tokenomics. That is going to be our new monetary system. And it's about more than just money. It's about complete and utter control. And the people who are going to be controlling your lives are not good people. And that's my little report for the day. Edward Anderson signing out.
Copy that.